What is going on? It's your boy here, TB from S&B, coming at you today. We had a nice little day today. Wanted to do a little bragging. First things first, I hope you guys all saw my video yesterday. If you did, you'll remember I told you about a little setup I liked. NVDA, baby. Oh my goodness, we got some red today on NVDA. I loved NVDA to the downside. Absolutely loved it. And sure enough, today we printed these puts. Look at this 30-minute chart. I mean, just blood, just selling, just 7 hours straight of selling on NVIDIA, a nice 7% day down. We went for that gap fill just like I told you all we would. You gotta sub, you gotta hit the bell. You cannot be missing these videos. I'm giving this shit out for free, everyone. Please, I'm begging you. You're missing out if you're not seeing these daily updates. And we filled that gap. Oh my goodness, we went straight down. I'll show you screenshots for proof. My little option ran about 120%. We did end up taking profit on that today. Cheers, everyone. I will gladly take a bag. This could continue to run to the downside. I am personally looking for a bit of a bounce now on NVIDIA. It is looking like it has almost completely filled that gap. To me, this is just, you get this big of a red day. You see this much selling so many days in a row. I just think it's overly greedy at this point to not take a little bit of profit. I am still loving NVIDIA to the downside. I'm still going to be watching for a bounce to short on NVIDIA. But for right now, I felt comfortable taking profit. I think this is a beautifully executed trade. Bravo. I hope some of y'all might have ran with me. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if you like money, that was pretty nice. Great setup. Took a bag. Thrilled about that. Drop a like if you guys followed. Drop a comment if you did. I really appreciate it. And consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that as well. But let's talk about what else happened in the market today. Today was a little weird day. Looking here at the hourly, or let's go to the 15-minute on the S&P. So today we opened up with some blood, some nice red candles, and then we just boom, bounce off that demand zone. I told you, demand. We have buyers still here. I told you all yesterday. 380. Watch out, there's still buyers. Sure enough, we sold down to 380. Buyers stepped up, and we just chopped. I mean, today was a rough day on the S&P 500. Not rough as in like bad downside, but mega chop city. Oh my goodness. A lot more action in tech. Like I've been telling y'all, tech has been incredibly weak. Tech is getting like capitulation selling in some of the stocks here today. But today we are just in this tight range now on the S&P 500. We obviously are in a trading range here now, way over here. And we are within this range. And personally, I'm going to wait for a break out of this range to get more bullish or more bearish. I personally think we're going to go to the downside, but a break above 387, 385, and then eventually a break above the big level 390.24, 390.20 up here. Looking very bullish, but man, if you are a breakout trader, this is not what you want to see, so be very careful. Do not get yourself chopped out, because today was just a chop fest on the S&P 500, but we did get a little more action on the Nasdaq today. Nasdaq, same kind of open, except we did not recover like the S&P 500 today. We gapped down a little bit and we just sold on the Nasdaq. Just 15 minutes of straight selling on that Nasdaq. We finally got some support down here at this demand zone at 263. Buyers are there. As you can see, buyers stepped up at that level twice today. We got bought up from this level right here at 263.50. Once over here, we got bought up again over here. Big buyers stepped up. But I told you all about this trend line. I said, watch out for this trend line. This is our downtrend that we're in. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that level. It's money. And sure enough, we bounced off that hard today. Bounced off that hard. And it looked like we broke it. Bounced again off of it. So NASDAQ is still looking very bearish. I was not coming into the market today, assuming that things would be red. I was actually assuming a little bit of green today. I thought with that long weekend, maybe we'd get a little easing on the selling. I thought this week would be a little greener, but I said overall I'm pretty bearish on things. But yeah, today there was no hope for tech. Tech was just, it's just sell now, buy later on tech right now. The interesting thing about NVIDIA was such a good play. I mean, AMD only went down like 2%. I think TSM wasn't even down a full percent. ASML 2.5%. I mean, ON was down about 1.5%. NVIDIA, though, the one I picked was the outperformer, baby. That shit just went straight down. God, I love that. That was such a beautiful play. And I just, I get thrilled when I make good trades like that. And I just love looking over it and just being like, finally, because this year I've watched so many of these downside setups just fly by me because I'm so like, not really permeable, but I'm just like, I hate being wrong on a downside trade because, I mean, the past is the past, and the past is typically bullish. Things are typically bullish, so you really feel dumb when you lose money on a downside play. But this one was just, it was too good. It was perfect, and I love it. But looking at Tesla, I mean, Tesla, what the hell is going on? Wow, this went further down than I thought it did. I kind of quit paying attention after it was chopping around down here. Now, Tesla is doing what we call the old panic sell, capitulation, margin calls, complete panic, get my money out of this stock right now. I am losing everything I have. Tesla is the biggest falling knife I think we've seen all year, in terms of like market cap, in terms of big company recognition. You know, Tesla is a retail traders, not trader, but a retail investors, like one of their favorite stocks. The retail investors, they love Tesla. They love putting their money in there because if you just look at the chart, what's it do? Wow, it's made a lot of people a lot of money over the past couple of years. But now we are just in panic. And I mean, this is high volume selling. This is no joke. This selling that we are seeing, I mean, the volume is a little messed up because they've done so many splits. But this is some of the highest volume. This is the highest volume selling we've seen all year on Tesla, and not just since he bought Twitter. I mean, it was high over here. This is the highest since then. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a falling knife. It's just plummeting. And now it looks like the target for Tesla is at least $90. We're at least going to see $90. I guarantee that before the end of this. Guarantee it, if not by the end of this week. Jesus Christ, who knows on Tesla? But we are below that 200-week moving average now. I mean, we're already below it. We're well below that. I mean, we're not even close to any of the 50-day moving average or 200-day moving average on the daily. But oh my God, dude, Tesla is just, man, it's scary. And I told you all yesterday, I mean, I was wrong. I wasn't thinking it was going to bounce for sure, but I was like, this thing can do some wicked stuff. I imagine shorts might take profits, which would definitely push a short squeeze rally kind of deal. But whew, Tesla, man. So now we're getting to this level where you are in the red unless you bought Tesla pre-August 2020. You're in the red. So how many people do you think that are currently holding Tesla didn't buy it way down here, but they bought it way up here? They saw what it did off the COVID lows. They bought it way up here, which they still made a lot of money if they took profits. But then they ended up buying the dip over here. They bought 187. We got a nice dip, and we went straight to 430. Or how many people just completely FOMO'd into it and bought like up around here at 350, 400? Or they bought the dip over here at all this year? A lot of people and a lot of money, and that's concerning because when you start to see a stock this big with so many retail, like everyday average Joe investors in it, that is a prime recipe for a full-blown like margin call. Just like, yeah, people literally get margin called, like their accounts going to zero and their margin going to zero, and the trading firms being like, all right, you're selling that, and that just, it compiles. It's an avalanche, a snowball effect, you know, and that is literally what's happening right now. Like, just shocking. I mean, shocking amount of selling going on in Tesla. It's just crazy. There's just no buyers. And I don't know. There's really just nothing else to say about it. It's just like, where could the bottom possibly be? But then you zoom out and you're like, all right, it's got to stop. But then you zoom out and it's like, oh man, we're not even close to the lows from COVID. We're not even close to the highest pre-COVID. I mean, we're kind of close. We're still $50 off. So there's still so much more room for Tesla. I mean, just so much more room to the downside. It's still a technically overpriced company. I know some bad news out of Shanghai came out today, and that kind of fueled this, but it is just, I mean, we're down 73% year over year, which isn't nearly as bad as some stocks that are down like 90, 95+%. So Tesla just took its sweet time getting there, but it is just collapsing, full-blown collapse on Tesla. And I really don't even know where to say a bottom could be besides 90. I mean, I think $91, $92 on Tesla. But holy shamokas, we have just, I mean, you saw the volume gap. I told you guys about this volume gap. I told you guys, I said right there, I said, look at that. There's no volume. There's been no volume in this area. Very little, just straight up. When you just slice through an area that fast, and sure enough, look what happened on the other side. Oh, we just cut right through it. Just straight down. So that's why you got to watch where the volume profile is. That's where you have to see. You got to zoom out and look at where the volume has been in the past, because that does come into play big time. These algorithms, they look in the past. Yeah, I just don't really know what else to say about Tesla. It's a tragedy. And I don't love the stock. I don't own the stock. I have only tried to trade it and kind of failed in doing that. So I just stay away. But anyways, moving on to Apple. Apple is just bouncing off those yearly lows. Not really bouncing, but it refuses to give up that yearly low. I mean, we literally wicked straight down to it. And like I told you guys, there are still buyers at this level. Still demand at this level at 129-ish, basically. So that's why I was saying I was also expecting a little bit of a bounce on Apple, but it does still look good to the downside. It still looks like it wants downside. I imagine it's going to make a new low before we see any notable bounce in the market. If you look at stuff like Microsoft, so Microsoft didn't do a whole lot today, down about 1% or 0.75%. Amazon, I mean, I've been telling you guys about Amazon. Personally, I haven't been shorting Amazon. I kind of wish I had been. I kind of like to just focus on one play at a time. But I told you all, man, Amazon looks like hot doo-doo. It looks like it just wants to just keep going down, man. And it is just going down and down and down. We are now tapping off of those COVID lows. We are right there. So I imagine we will not see Amazon just go straight through $81. I believe we will see a bounce off of that because there is just, it's such a significant level. It's where so many buyers stepped up pre-COVID, and it's Amazon. So it's not like Tesla where it could just go straight down. But that's what I'm seeing on Amazon. Meta, not really doing much. I think Netflix down about 3.6%. So Netflix is also looking like a hot play to the downside. It's also looking very nice. If you can see this rising wedge, that Netflix, I mean, this is just perfect. Look at this rising wedge. I mean, come on. How perfect can it get? Netflix has gone, it has filled that gap that it had over here. This was the bad earnings. This was, that 35% down day that Netflix had. It has filled that gap basically completely. So now that was the main focus. They were just trying to get it to fill that gap. And it basically has. And now it's just like Netflix is just going to do what everything else does. Netflix key level to watch out for, and key level I'm watching out for personally to see if it breaks, is right there at 281 or 280.78. That's strong demand. Once we break through that, next level, obvious, 254 on Netflix. Netflix has some very, just clean levels. Netflix is looking very clean to the downside. But I look around at all these downside plays, and you just have to have in the back of your mind that the market it's going to bounce. We're going to see a green day. We're going to see maybe 2 green days, or maybe even a full green week. You have to keep that in mind. You cannot just go full puts. You can't go balls deep now. At this point, you're almost chasing it unless it's an individual stock that looks like it hasn't really gone down that much. But at this point, I think if you're shorting tech, you're a little bit chasing it. You should really wait for a bounce, really wait for that lower high to get in on some shorts. But yeah, really, that's kind of what went down today. I mean, just a solid red day. The Nasdaq just looks like hot garbage. We still have this key level holding up on the Nasdaq. That's really it. I mean, that's the level right there. That's the one we're holding, and we're sitting right on it. And that's why I'm convinced we're just going to see a bounce. I just really do. I really think we're going to see a bounce. If not tomorrow, then day after tomorrow. But yeah, I'm all cash right now. I took profits to the downside. I was thrilled with the NVIDIA play. I'm all cash. But if we do see a bounce on the Nasdaq, I imagine we could see a bounce right up to this level. Uh-oh. Getting a little text. Oh, no. Yeah, we're getting bad weather where I live. My internet provider just texted me, hey, your internet might go down. Be careful. So anyway, on the Nasdaq, to the upside, I see a convergence right here. This 30-minute 50 moving average is sitting right at this key level I have at 267. So if we do get some green, I could easily see us running up to that level 267, bouncing off of that to make a lower high and to tap that 50 moving average on the 30-minute chart. I could very well see that happening. If we do break above that, I imagine we can go straight right up to, if we do break above that, I mean, this is our very important level that we have right here at 268.17. That is where we had support, and that support has turned into resistance. As you can tell, we have resisted off of that. So if we do break above 267, look for 268.03 above that. And then right above that, we have big gap to fill, 270.50. I could see that gap just getting filled straight away. And then if we do that, you got to see for the next low to see if we get a lower low. But that's what I'm seeing on Nasdaq. If we do just go straight down tomorrow, I think we will just break this level, 263.08, and then just come straight down and tap the demand here at 260.43 in that area. And then obviously below that, massive demand on the Nasdaq from 258 clear down to like 254. I mean, this is where buyers just went crazy for that CPI data. So, yeah, Nasdaq, it's looking like hot dog doo-doo. I mean, jeez, I just don't know. I just don't know. This is where we're at. I mean, if you are going short right now, you are just chasing very hard. But if you're going long, you are front running. You are just basically hoping, like gambling, sort of, that the market just has to bounce at this point. I just do not see the risk to reward to that. So personally, I am just a little neutral. I'm overall bearish for the next few months, or next month at least. For the rest of this week, I'm pretty neutral. But I'm not in the business of predicting. I'm in the business of reacting to price action. And if you are one of those breakout traders, you have to take into consideration that we may just stick in this trading range on the S&P 500 for quite some time. That trading range, I mean, we could just stick in here. And the market has done this multiple times. You just stay from 275 to 287. A nice little, like, 3-4% range, or about 3% range on SPY, that we could just bounce in and out of. And now we're right at the middle of that. And we're right at the point of control on that, I believe, if you get the volume. Yeah, we're right at that point of control. Look at that. Look at this range. The point of control, boom, right there. Right at it. That's point of control. So that's why I'm neutral. And I believe you should be too, but I'm not a financial advisor. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate the likes and any comments. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.